You're like, what up? What up? Oh, I need the mic. I don't have the mic. Oh, there it is.
Talking with like this old guy in Spain, and I was like asking for directions, but I was speaking broken Spanish. I'm talking about a dream I had. I was speaking broken Spanish, but he was speaking perfect Spanish back to me.
All right.
What was he saying?
It was, I think, that I didn't know how to speak Spanish that well.
There we go.
So, like, he could still say Spanish that I could understand, but I was only speaking broken Spanish to him. I was going to ask about the challenge. Should I do that last, or do you guys? Another large round?
Yeah, generally.
I would do it last, Elias, and we're actually all in prospects.
Okay. Oh.
Until they should be here soon, so don't even worry about this one.
Okay, cool.
There we go. There we go. Here we are. We were trying to do something new with the live stream. We were trying to run it off OBS and trying to do some other stuff. Yeah, it didn't work because we didn't have the mic and everything set up actually through the phone. So I don't even think there would have been any audio or anything coming through the phone. So whenever we set up OBS, we got to make sure we select a mic and things like that when we do all that. So I think there was just going to be a little bit more setup process with that we didn't want to have to do on the fly. So we don't have the overlays this week because we were trying to add some overlays and things like that for everyone. Try to get in with the now technology, put all that cool stuff in there. So hopefully we can do that now. I think it was picking the audio up from the computer, from Adam's computer, and it wasn't picking up any OBS. Yeah, OBS.
There's one that I would retell.
IPS. Yeah. Okay, yeah, there. Yeah, so we'll have to do a little bit more figuring out with that on the audio side of things, because like I said, I know with OBS you have to select a mic and go through that whole process. So maybe for next week we'll get that up and running. Not a big deal. We're here. We're live. It's Thursday. Hopefully everybody's having a good week. How can I test my trackball? Old girl ain't working in Golden Tee. Well, then it's probably not working. I mean, the best option is to go to your desktop, and if you don't have a mouse there, well, then your trackball probably isn't working. Obviously, I would start looking at all your connections, things like that. As another quick way. Yes. So yeah, I can show you how to get, I mean, if you know how to get to input this machine off a MAME, and then obviously input your trackball, you'll have to do your Y and your X probably, depending on what trackball or what Golden Tee game you're trying to play. I know on 06, 2006 version and 97, I know those two on our machines, the trackball isn't typically inputted. I typically do that all that stuff before our machines get shipped out, but if you happen to get new drives, that might not be done, so you will have to go in there and do that for Y and X. But yeah, let's get into this bad boy here. What's up, Loose Cannon? Raymond. Nice to see everybody. Bill, Pistol Pete, Chris Killa. Awesome. So yeah, we'll do a little walk around this machine first, and then just getting this bad boy quality checked and ready to go out the door. So we have a 4-player stealth upright. Well, it's a 4-player panel. We have neon ring on this bad boy. An RGB trackball with remote, 2 aim track guns with recoil. large Tron stick. We have the 50 terabyte Omega drive system with an upgraded of 32 gigs of RAM, Xbox transmitter, and then we have lighted buttons and lighted joysticks. So there's kind of a rundown on this machine. So I'll kind of walk you around it now. So Star Wars theme, but we got a little bit of this DeLorean up in there, which is interesting, but kind of show you here. There's that panel again. Kind of go over it and kind of see unique. I know I got glare with lights, things like that, so. We have that beautiful Scantron layout. Come to this side. There you go. Let's check out that kick plate. Here. I know that neon ring is probably pretty bright, but have the Death Star in there. There you have it. So I'm just gonna get into quality checking this bad boy so we can get this wrapped up and shipped out. So I'm just gonna start the processes with all that stuff here.
Oh, well. Oh, well. Oh, well.
So yeah, for that golden tee again here, maybe I can just show that off quick, but if we go in the golden tee, it's like 2006, I know, so let's just come in here. And then if we do your shift button, player one joystick to the right, that'll bring our menu up. We want to go to input this machine, because that's just going to be just for this game. And then now you can see here, there's none. So if I hit my player one start, and then go left, or I mean you could go right, either direction, that'll come up mouse X. Same thing for our Y. We just go up, usually I do. There you go. And then if you wanted to too, I know if you come into analog controls here, typically, I don't like when I play these, sometimes I like to increase this a little bit. Oops. Couldn't remember if that was on or off, but I'll point up here.
Welcome to Golden Tee Golf. Hi, I'm Pat Summerall, and with me is Peter Jacobs.
Oh yeah, that was definitely
Peter?
on.
Thanks, Pat. I'm really glad to be here.
Yeah, this is on. There we go. There we go. Whatever it lands on, that's what I'll play for a little
We're
bit.
here at Maple Acres on a pretty nice day.
No problem, Raymond. All right, so. So yeah, like I said too, you can adjust that sensitivity if you want it to be up a little more. I usually find that 40 is like the perfect for me.
He found the green. Golfer one trying for birdie.
And I'm gonna miss.
Golfer one putting for par.
I'm not the greatest at golden tee, so. We'll do one more hole.
Honors to golfer one.
Because this gives me, you know, I can come in here and test the trackball. So it's always kind of a nice game to make sure your trackball's working good.
That's center cut.
I'm not really aiming too much. I'm just kind of shooting and going for it. Not spending a lot of time aiming, doing all that good stuff, but
That's where he wants to be.
Call for one, trying for birdie. Excellent.
there you go. Let's do one more. Ooh, maybe a hole in one. I think I'm slightly off. Oh yeah, rolled way downhill.
Call for one, trying for birdie. Call for one, putting for par.
All right, there you go. There's some golden tee.
Until next time, I'm Pat Summerall.
And how I just did that, player quit. If you hit player one start, that'll pop up that menu, and then you can quit out of there. And then since I'm already here, I'm just gonna go do 97 right away because I know that one too. It doesn't have the trackball programmed in here for us. So again, shift function, player one joystick to the right, input this machine. And then for some reason with this one, I don't know why it's mouse 2 up here. But again, player one start, I usually go left, on up. And then this one I just usually point out and just make sure it's working here. I like 2006 version better. So working beautiful there. So I'm just gonna back out. I'm gonna go to the desktop now from here, and I'm gonna kind of do some of the basic stuff that I'll do for quality checking. Again, just making sure I have the right PID numbers, things like that. So when you guys get these machines from us, it's pretty much all set up and ready for you to rack and go. Besides, if you wanted to switch your buttons, things like that in game. For a lot of those MAME games, you can obviously do that. So we'll get into it here. All right. Properties. So we are having to use some different boards for our Tron sticks, which we got up and working. Are you even able to calibrate? Okay. Move the dial all the way up and down. Okay. Up, down, up, down. Move the slider all the way up and down. Up, down, up, down. Or is it left? Oh, left, right. There you go. Left, right for the slider. So yeah, it's a little bit of a different board. And then push the button and click to finish. So you got your dial and your slider. And I might actually have to redo that because of button, so dial up. And I think slider is left to right. Finish. So yeah, up, down, up, down, up, down, left, right, left, right, left, right. So I'm just gonna hit apply and okay. Start device manager. I'm gonna come into, typically I look for Bluetooth being disabled because that will interfere. Everything else looks good. We typically disable NVIDIA high def because you're running typically through speakers. Usually I'll leave that stuff on for game boxes, pedestals, because I know sometimes customers like to hook that up to their own sound system. Activation, we're just gonna make sure our Windows is activated. And then I'm gonna check my guns here. So we got on screen, left, middle, right, with enable calibration on the right, right, middle, right, with again, enable calibration on the right. Usually I'll have my IR gain. Can't spit out those words. And then I'll disable this, just because otherwise this will adjust on its own, and I know I've gone in and tested games and this will be all the way down to 1 and I can tell my gun isn't working as well. So typically I'll just max this out and disable it. Apply changes. We do have recoil. I'm just going to test my recoil, make sure that's working. I'm going to come here, I'm going to select device 2. I'm going to do the same thing. Left, middle, right, right, middle, right. That all sounds beautiful. Next I'll come into test controls, so I'm going to just, again, double check all the buttons, joysticks, things like that on here. Obviously make sure all that's working good for us. What's up, Joe? What's up, Shane? Yeah, I'm just gonna come and test all my controls, make sure everything's working. Looks like everything's working beautiful. So there'll be a few other things we'll need to check. A couple PlayStation 2 games for light guns. I'll have to go in and change the coding for that, so those games work. So I'm going to get into that next here, and we'll go from there. I'm just going to double check Techno Parrot here quick too before I get into it. Usually I'll make sure that this is all good, which typically it should be. We'll get into testing some of those games in a little bit. But yeah, let's get into the PlayStation games here. Since I'm right here, I'm going to check properties, tools. Usually I come in here and just see if this needs to get optimized. And usually I'll just run that quick. Well, we do sell game boxes and stuff as a cheaper option to get you guys started, at least if you can't afford obviously one of these bigger machines. I mean, even game boxes can get up to be pretty expensive, so usually just starting with a base model and then upgrading over time is the best way to do it. If you kind of want to get our product and kind of get your foot in the door with the arcade community, things like that, that's always a good option. Is just start with a nice little 2-player game box build base computer. I mean, that's going to get you to do everything that you need to do. I mean, you don't need any of this fancy stuff, to be honest with you. Everything is just add-ons from there. I mean, you can, I mean, eventually if you wanted to too, and you know, you wanted RGB buttons, you can always ship your panel in later on, things like that. We could swap out for RGB buttons down the future. I mean, you can always upgrade your computer from there. So that's always just a good option, just to start with the base of everything, and you can kind of upgrade from there. And usually sometimes they'll have deals that we'll do. So David's kind of saying that we do have pre-built sales available as well. Check out our website. We're running sales. I know I'm working on one that a customer brought in and we resold for him. So that is another option too. Every now and again we'll kind of get some of those, but again, a game box is a great option to start with. You hook it right up to your own TV. So yeah, just let us know if there's any other questions that we can answer for any of you newcomers, or any concerns that you have, things like that. Just let us know. So right off the bat, what I need to go to first, and I'm going to go to Tools, the Mule Shooter here, and this is where I'm going to get that line of code that I'm basically going to need to put in my PlayStation 2 games for, I think they're 9 or 10 games. I don't remember off the top of my head, but basically what I'm doing is I'm just copying this top line. This is the PID number for the aim track guns. So I'm going to copy that first one. We're going to minimize, and now we're going to go to emulators, and we're going to come down to PCSX2 1.6.0 light gun, and those are where our PlayStation 2 gun games are going to be. Game configs, and then there's these games right here. So what, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games. So it's a little bit of work to do this, but that's all right. I want you to get your system, not have to worry about this, be able to fire the game up and your gun works. So again, I'm just gonna input these in quick. We'll have to do each one individual, and we'll have to do, obviously, you can see one for player 1, one for player 2. And then obviously doing this, we'll check at least one of these games out. I typically will do and make sure that that's all working for us. Do dee do 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 dee do. Are any of you excited for the NFL season to start? First game tonight, the Ravens and the Chiefs. I know I'm pretty pumped. I've been looking forward to football, excited for the Packers this year. See where they're going to be headed. Paste, file, save. A special build that's coming up that I'll be working on. I know we're doing one. We're doing a crush machine. They had created their own game. We designed a machine for them, or have a machine for them that we're doing. So that'll be interesting. I just finished up the panel last night. So hopefully in the next week, or tomorrow, I think I'll be able to start putting artwork and things like that on it. So that's kind of what I'll be working on. For another kind of unique build, I know we have another one coming up too for a brewery, I believe. That is another kind of special machine. So those will be exciting to work on. Right now I'm just working on that refurbished game box. So I was starting to work on that and get things done with that, start replacing some parts in it. And get that done for that customer. So now that I'm done with this, again, I'm gonna come back here and I'm just gonna grab my device 2, my gun number 2. And then I can just close that out, obviously. And then running through the same thing with these. Crap, I think don't save, I think I went too far with that line. Oh, that's all right, I'll just, no, why is it doing a space? Did I do that with the gun number 1? No. Must have copied the code wrong or something? I don't know why it's doing a space. Typically I come here and paste. Yeah, why is it doing a space? Didn't do that for gun 1. I'll go re-grab that. I don't know why it's putting a space at the end. I really don't feel like putting in a keyboard and doing all that, so I'm just gonna come back here. I must have dragged down and grabbed the whole line, probably is what I did. So yeah, maybe having those spaces in there can kind of affect things. God dang it. No, I went too far. It's alright, we'll get back there. Game configs again. Edit. There we go. Paste. There we go. I must have just, when I copied, I accidentally copied the other line there. Not a huge deal. We got it fixed. I mean, it would have been a deal, obviously, if I would have left that, because sometimes if you have spaces, things like that, they won't recognize. I know it like MAME. If you have spaces or anything weird in there, they won't even launch the game for you. So anyways, we're just gonna keep on moving forward with this. And try to get this part done as fast as I can. I think everything else is looking beautiful on this machine. Paste. So yeah, this is obviously, you can see the most time consuming part is going in, making sure all these numbers and stuff are right in here for everyone. So this just kind of, again, gives you an idea of everything that we do here before you guys get your machine, everything that we go through. Save. There's a couple other games that we can just double check. Usually I know with aim tracks, they're usually already pre-set up. I know for Gun for IR, there's a little more work around with doing those. And especially with the new PID numbers on those, I have to do all this too, because these are already set up for Gun for IR, but with the new Gun for IRs, we have a different PID number, so it's basically I gotta go through everything when we set those up. But so that should be good there. I know everything should be good in MAME, but we can just double check. So MAME, if we come to our controller file, EHA config, this is typically where everything is at. I don't know. I don't think that's a huge deal. There's some spaces there. So that all looks good there. More gun stuff would be in MAME for IR guns, which again, I know that that's set up all good there. Supermodel IR guns. Usually, again, this will already be pre-configured for Gun for IR, which that all looks good there. Usually I'll just test some of these, you know, one of these games just to make sure that that is all running well for us. So everything else looks good here. I'm just gonna do checker display settings quick. Native. All right, 1920 by 1080. Usually I'll select my graphics card. I've just been putting this in the middle. I haven't been having a lot of good luck with it. There we go. So that looks all good there for us. I know the time doesn't matter, but usually when I'm working on these, I like to see the time, the correct time anyways. So here's obviously where you can get in, change your time for whatever location you're at. Techno Parrot, that'll look good there. The Mule shooters here, this should all be good here. Gun 1 and 2. And that really should be about it as far as with this machine. I don't have RGB buttons, all that good stuff to check. So I'm just gonna do a power. I'm gonna do just a restart. And then we'll get into testing some games and going through all that fun stuff. Yes, we can definitely ship to Europe. We ship all over the world.
Is that something that I can do? I have it right here.
You got it over here?
It's just with the exact code.
I hear you, Nick. I'm still learning new things every day, too.
I know, right?
Wow, $4,500 alone in shipping to Malta. That's crazy.
Keeping you on your toes.
Wait, are you screwed in the bottom? Because the bottom can come forward. Yeah, sorry, it's
Awesome Pistol Pete. Yeah, you really get into DraftKings. I did 2 fantasies there. I had 2 teams, but I like doing the DraftKings too, where you can do the game by game stuff. So I kind of get into that big time.
you're good on your left.
Yeah.
Your right may not be that possible.
Yes, those should support 2 players. I've gone in the vampire one, and I know that one is usually that's the one I test. I know that's 2 players. Just kind of reading what you guys are saying, and we'll get into it.
Push it out a little bit. Probably even as you're.
So yeah, obviously when this video is done too, you can see where I got those config files and go back and rewind that. I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of time again going back and doing that, but
A little less. There you go.
I can do a quick little demo again too of how do you get there and get that code and then where you need to put it.
It'll work. Yes.
Thanks, Rob the Pony.
Okay. A couple.
Worth every penny. Cannot recommend RGB buttons enough. The light matching to game is so nice. I agree, Joe. I love the RGB too.
Well, I normally like it when life is a lot harder than it needs to be. Make an exception to this time.
Yep, so yeah, just like David's saying again, overseas. I'm just kind of repeating some of this stuff because I know with a lot of what we chat on here, online, typically on the live stream, I think I've gone back and watched the videos. I don't think a lot of this live chatter is on here. So that's probably why you'll hear me repeat a lot of this stuff. Just so people that are watching these videos, once this is done, can kind of know what's going on. But yes, we do send the transformers to convert the 220 to 120.
Alright. What time it is?
But there you go. You guys can keep on chatting. Let's get into here a little bit. Let's do some game testing. Let's make sure our Tron stick is working good. So I'm just gonna go right into Arcade Classics here. I know Afterburner is one that's gonna use the Tron stick. But first thing what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna come into MAME, the general settings. So for those that don't know, I'm in the Arcade Classics folder. If I hit my player 1 coin, that brings our menu up on the right here, and then from here I can go down to open MAME. So if I hit my player 1 start, that's gonna open MAME, and these are all the games that run on a MAME. So now if I come down, I'm using my trackball and my mouse clicks up here, config options, double click. I'm gonna come to general inputs, player 1, and these are all the controls for player 1. that are going to use MAME. All the general controls. So this is where you're not going to want to switch a lot of things, obviously, because if you do, you can mess up all your games, things like that. But I'm just double checking, make sure our Tron stick is there, and Joy 1 should be it. And typically too, with MAME, I know the guns will interfere, so typically I'll usually, playing arcade classic games, I'll usually unplug the guns. Because then now this will come up as Joy 1. If I were to have both my guns plugged in, it'll come up as Joy 3. I've tried to go through and tried to add the PID number for the Tron stick and have it be as one input, but for some reason that hasn't ever worked for me well. I can certainly play some Tron. I do not have a spinner on this, so like discs of Tron and things like that get to be difficult, but I think just regular Tron uses a stick. Yeah, I believe we already have all the Nintendo 64 games and all the GameCube games. I believe we have every single one of those already. So yeah, I mean, if there's games that you guys are looking that you haven't seen, just let us know. I mean, we'll look into it, just like David's saying here. He's the wizard on that end of things. So, I mean, he's the wizard with that when it comes to a lot of things. So obviously with everything arcade-wise. But yeah, just let us know. Yeah, I mean, you can use your trackball too, like what David's saying. So, I mean, there's ways to go around, obviously, if you don't have a spinner or a Tron stick. You can still play those games. So let's get into Afterburner. Just out of curiosity, that is the slider, and that is the dial. Okay. I was just seeing what they were coming up as of right there. But it is working. The only thing I think I seen was when I was in MAME.
Oh,
When I was in MAME here. I don't know if this was set up right in here. The buttons look to be set up. Okay, it is set up there. So all that looks good. I just thought I was seeing something else there for a minute, but there we go. So that's all good there. Sure, let's check out Tron. I'm not too good at Tron, you guys. Oh, excuse me. Coin up. And with this actually too, typically it's only programmed to your player one joystick, so I'm just gonna add my Tron stick in here. I'm always curious too. I'm curious with this board if it will still come up as Joy 1 or not. If I had the guns plugged in, I'll have to try that later. I'm just curious with this new board. But there you go. That's typically what I do. I'll just add the Tron stick in there for up, down, left, and right. So now we can come back. Why is it moving? Can I go down? So you can see I can use my trackball. Oh, look at that. For some reason, this is still moving though. Yeah, I'm not even... So yeah, it's moving yet. I don't know if that calibration, something with the calibration, because I'm having to hold back. Yeah, I'll just see if I can't like recalibrate that. I don't know why. And I crash into the wall. Does it have to do with like input this machine? Dial and slider. Alright. We'll get out of that. I'm gonna have to look into this Tron stick. I'm not gonna delve into that and spend like half an hour trying to do that on the live stream. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to like go back and figure out the calibration process of that, which we can get to maybe more towards the end. But let's go down. Let's keep on getting some of this stuff tested out. Light gun game. Excuse me. So Vampire Night, I believe one of them were. Where is that? Here, I can just go to V. I don't even know I'm going down. Vampire Night. So this is one of those PlayStation 2 games that we went in and fixed. Which again, I can show that at the end of the stream here again. How we get into that. Is in Star Wars or Empire Strikes Back. Okay, I'll check that in a minute here. We'll check out this gun game. Let's get our guns out, boys. Boys and girls.
Never put acid or any other
Oh, I forgot I had my guns unplugged. Plug these back in now that I'm in my gun game stuff.
Hadouken!
Go start. Start. There we go.
Arcade mode.
gonna skip past all that. There we go. We got the dual in this.
Reload.
There you can see each gun is working though individually. There's one. There's two. Oh, mid-air shot. Sweet. Oh. There we go. There's a little bit of Vampire Night for us. So we know that that's working beautiful. All right. So I know, I think LA Machine Guns is another, is a supermodel game. So I'm just coming here and make sure that that's all working well. Sega.
Keep the window to select the mission.
There we go. Let's do this up again. Let's go to Las Vegas. Why not? Yeah, we can definitely check those games out. Give me a minute here. Well, this is another fun game. I mean, this is one you just pretty much hold the trigger and go to town. I know if you shoot the pedestrians, you'll lose points, but I just go to town and hold the trigger. I think I just lost 5,000. I shot that chick. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Trying to steal all my stuff? Get out of here. There you go. Working beautiful. That's all working wonderful for us. So yeah, I know with some of that Switch stuff, we've switched to a different emulator, so I don't know what kind of drive. I mean, we have the same emulator, but an updated version of it, so I don't know what kind of drives you have. But I can definitely check those games. I know they work good on here. Mark Daddy. Okay, these units have so many games. Has every single title been tested? I don't have an answer for you on that side of stuff. David would be the one to answer. Yeah, there you go. Take 3 lifetimes to test every single game. So there's kind of your answer. So,
Oh, well.
if I go into Switch, Super Smash Brothers, right, was one. What was the other one? I don't even know. Oh, Castle Crashers. I don't even think that's even in the Switch folder. What were the games? What was it? Castle Crashers and Smash Brothers. So yeah, Castle Crashers must be in an expansion folder. But Super Smash Brothers, if you hit your coin again, then open Yuzu latest build is usually what we run these out of. And I had found a setting. My guns, I'm gonna have to unplug my guns. Emulation, configure, graphics. I've still been using Vulkan, switched to 720 by 1080. CPU, this is usually what I have the settings at as of right now on here. And I never had ran into an issue with this not working. These guys, the Clark and Blaine, they test Smash Brothers every time they finish a machine. So I know that Smash Brothers always works well. Okay, yeah, I'll have to check Castle Crashers. So yeah, again, I never have an issue with it. And I don't have Xbox controllers connected up right now. But there, I mean, there you can see it runs.
Oh, well.
Castle Crashers. PC games, I believe. Castle Crashers here. Yeah, and this is just a PC game. So it even sounded like it was using X input. I heard the chime pop up. No, you can play online with these. These are hooked up to the internet. I mean, there's all kinds of things that you can play online with these machines. I mean, you can even play other people that have these machines that play against each other online. And you can play your classic MAME games, I believe, online with these. I mean, these hook up to Steam. I mean, you can launch your Steam account, your Epic account. You can hook up Xbox Live, run your Xbox Live off this. I mean, we're just running Windows 10 with obviously a decent graphics card, decent processor, things like that, obviously to run newer games too as well. So. But we're just gonna do load game, or there we go, local game. You can select different characters, and I'm playing this right off the control panel. I like the green guy. Green's my favorite color. But obviously you could see there you could use up to 4 players.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. See, I'm not good because the nice thing with when you have RGB, they'll actually light up like Xbox controller colors. I'm trying to remember the actual button layout. So I know it's green, red, blue, yellow. So red, yellow, yellow, green, red. Yeah, see, I'm not too good at this Castle Crashers game, you guys, but you can see that it's up and running. And with the PC games like this, you're actually going to have to physically exit out Shift and Player 2 or whatever isn't going to work. So then I'm going to come down to quit. Yeah, I don't know, Mark Daddy, why yours isn't loading. Like I said, you can definitely try to change the Yuzu to the latest build.
Oh, well. Oh, well.
So just to kind of show you how we can get into do that, if we actually come into Launchbox, because I think there's still one more game that'll have to switch anyways. I believe the Cruisin' World or whatever it is in the Switch emulator still needs to get put to the newest, latest build. So now I'm in Launchbox. If we come down to Nintendo Switch, and like I said, Cruisin' Blast, there it is, Cruisin' Blast. But I know that this one isn't, so if we actually come to edit metadata, and then we come to emulation, we're gonna switch this to the Yuzu latest build. And then that'll switch it to the newest build, and if you wanted to from here, you could play and launch the game right out of Launchbox too. Can you remind me what the shortcut is for changing the controls just on the specific game you are currently playing? So for like Switch, again, I can show you how to get in there. We have tons of tutorials on how to get into each emulator and to switch your controls on our YouTube channel. So if you reference that, that's a good reference too. I mean, I can kind of show you here how to get in to do all that too. So again, this is going to be where I would have Xbox controllers. I mean, it is loading. But if you actually are in Launchbox and you come to open the latest build that I'm in, so this is where I was, and I changed a couple of those graphic settings inside of here. Like I said, this is usually what you see on screen is usually what I found that worked the greatest for all the Switch games inside of the folder as of right now, and didn't run into any issues in having to come in here and change this to get another game to work well. But if we come up to the top, emulation, configure, controls, now you can see, I mean, I could get in here and I could switch my button mapping if you wanted to get in here and do that. Always make sure when you redo an input inside of this folder to save, so it saves your inputs. But there's just one instance how to get into one of the emulators inside of here. For MAME, for your arcade classics, again, is your shift player one joystick to the right and go into input this machine if you wanted to change any buttons inside of there. Yeah, so just like I said, the shift player one joystick to the left. So just to kind of show you, if we come to arcade, is the range by, I like arranging by title. And then again, if you wanted to view game details, I like having the game details so that's just my preference. But let's just say, I want to test out Street Fighter. Oh. So I'm gonna play. So again, when you launch any game from your arcade classics, there David is kind of telling you how to do it too as well. Or if you don't have a dedicated shift button, hold your player one start button, then push player one's joystick to the right, same as tab key on a keyboard. So again, I'm going to do my shift function, or if, like I said, if you don't have a shift, you hold down your player one start on some of the older ones, or for those folks that don't have a shift function, again, hold down that player one start, that acts as your shift. So shift, player one joystick to the right, that brings up our menu. Now again, go in to just input this machine, and then from here you can see now I could get in there and I could change up, down, left, right, you know, my punch buttons, things like that. So that kind of gives you an idea there. Let's go and test this game out quick. Test one of the classics. Make sure we're rocking good on this stuff.
Fighters ready. Engage.
Ooh. Ooh, trying to throw stuff at me. Ooh, block that. Oh, thought I could get her.
Are you ready? Go.
I'll test this quick. I thought there was a couple other games that we could look into quick that I thought somebody was saying on there. We can check that out, and then we'll call it good for this week. Oh, blocked it again. There it is. Yeah, so if I do player one joystick left, player one start, you can see it just did a restart for me, brought me back to the main menu. And I can back out from there. So let me see if I can find these other couple games. Oh yeah, let's check out, can we play Star Wars Arcade Trilogy? So let's check out, yeah, because I think I was going to try those games with this Tron stick. So if I go up, if I clicked on, ooh, Launchbox. Launchbox froze up on me. We'll just go back into big box. Just just thought there was a couple games, but I don't think so. I think that was about it. So I'm just gonna get back up to the classics here. We'll test a few more things, you guys. And then we'll let you get back to work or whatever kind of fun things you're up to today. Alright. So let's go S. Actually, I'm gonna go T and go up. Might have been faster to go down, but
Settle down, Beavis.
oh, that one was on. What was the other one? Was there Star Wars? Aren't these two the same? I believe this is another one. Oops.
The force will be with you. Red 5 standing by.
Yeah, it's like it was center and then. So yeah, I can tell it's not like on center. I'll have to recalibrate. Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't been in the D drive too much. I'm sure once we get it released, we'll be able to test some of those games on our end as well. What's up?
Have a water.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't know what that other game was now. Give it a try. Do.
Oh, well.
All right.
Oh, well.
Oh, let's go here. Oh. Empire Strikes Back.
It'd be cool to have. I mean, it looked really cool.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool.
Arcade Trilogy. I know this is a lot. I know this game, we've had issues with you guys. We've been trying to get it to run good. It's a Sega Model 3 game. Yes, I can do that, Nick. I will certainly do that. Yeah, I know we've had plenty of customers that talk about this game or had issues with the game. You can see, like, when you pick the first one, sometimes it goes black. Again, this is still like a work in progress, you guys. So I know I remember David telling me if you select the middle one, and I don't know why this one isn't using the Tron stick. I believe these were set up as light gun games. Yeah, so I think these were like set up as light gun games originally. I know I'm using my Player One joystick. And I know you can use your trackball. So I'm using my trackball and mouse clicks right now. But yeah, I know if you select that middle one, it will play right away. I thought there was one in Technoparrot that was like a fun one that you can set up on your Tron stick as well. The Battle Pod one, I know. So if we come actually to open Technoparrot, and now if we find Star Wars Battle Pod, this one's a fun one, I know. And then, I mean, I believe you can set like X, or no, will it not let me do that with this? I think we have to, I thought I had this figured out once. If you do direct input, I believe, and then controller setup. And now if we do X, Y, and if you want to do, like you could do either throttle, like a button or trigger or whatever you wanted to do. Obviously you could start, Player One start on your panel, view change, you could make like a mouse click. No, let me do that. I do like button one. Yeah, you could do your weapon trigger, and your weapon button there. View change you could do. Oh, view change I did already. Menu up, menu down, which I don't think you'll use any of that. But if we do that, and now if I launch the game from here, and then we'll get into those last settings. Yeah, so yeah, we're, like I said, we're using a new board on this, so that's probably, like David is saying, why it didn't work in the Trilogy game. But this is like a newer, fun one, again, that you're able to like use your Tron stick. do like easy. We'll start out easy.
Standby alert. Death Star approaching. Estimated time to firing range, 15 minutes.
So again, I think I did my throttle here.
Launch all fighters. May the force be with you. Lock test coils in attack position.
And then I think I got, like, you could change your view, see, so you could have the ship there. And now I can have my trigger, has my guns. So again, this is a fun one to come and play. Got him. There you go. I hit my other weapon button that I had programmed. Destroy the exhaust port. So this too, you gotta lay off your guns, otherwise you lose all your energy. There we go. There you go. All right. I'll show you the one last thing and then we'll get out of here for this week, guys. So again, for doing the PlayStation 2, this is for the PlayStation 2 stuff. PlayStation 2 light guns, I should say. So if we come to File Explorer, the first thing we want to do is come to Tools, and we're looking for this emulation version 10.2.0. We double click in here and come to Config INI. Your gun code should be up here for player 1. So again, you're going to want to copy the whole line. You don't make sure you don't have spaces or anything. And then same thing when we do 2. So first thing, again, you're going to copy 1. We can minimize this. Now if we come to emulators, we scroll down, we come to the PlayStation 2 light gun emulator folder, game configs, and then now here's the 10 games. And now if we come into each one of these individually, right click and edit, and then you just highlight the GUID, highlight this whole thing, right click, paste, don't forget to save on your way out, save, and then done. And then just go again, you're gonna go into each one of these individually for 1. And then when you get 1 done, you're gonna come back to where you had your device number 2. Same thing. That line again, make sure no spaces, copy that. We can close this out, and then again, you're gonna come into each one of these individually, edit, you're gonna paste your code in here. Again, make sure you save on your way out, and then you should be good to go. But there we have it. There you go, guys. hopefully this was helpful. Thanks everybody for joining, liking, subscribing, all that good stuff. Keep up with what y'all are doing, and have a good week, and we'll see you next week.